सीतापति रामचंद्र की जय। Brothers and sisters, always a pleasure to be in your noble pious company. Let us clasp our hands and bow heads in humble supplication as we seek guidance, blessings and protection from the Supreme. Oh नाथ देव कुलमंगलधाम शिले भक्तार्चिनाशनी विरंची हर्षा वंदे कीर्ति प्रधे विलामनोरथ दे महारहे विद्या प्रदायिनी सरस्वती नामी ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धरित्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते ओम मध्यंतर रहते देवी आद्य शक्ति महेश्वरी योगे योग संभुते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृता ॐ मृत्युञ्जय रुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय संभवे अमृतेशाय सर्वाय महादेवाय ते नमः वन्दे देव उमापतिं सुरगुरुं वन्दे जगत्कारणं वन्दे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वन्दे पूषणं वन्दे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहिनी नयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं वन्दे भक्तजनश्रयं चावरणं वन्दे शिवशङ्करं गौरी वल्लभे कामाले कालभूतविनाशं मामुद्धरे पदम्बुजे त्रिपुरार्यं ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो ओम रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पदे ओम मंगलमूर्ति मारुतनंदन सकल अमंगल मूल निकंदन पावन तनया संतन हितकारी हृदय विराजमान मातु पिता गुरु गणपति शिव समित शंभो सुतनरध चरण कमल बंदो सब काहू देहु राम बरनी हो जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई बंदन राम लखन वेदही ये तुलसी की परम सनी सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरण पति महादेव की जय शरणमंडावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय शरणम भवन सुत हनुमान की जय शरणम। ओम नमो माता पिताय नमः श्री गुरु चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः।
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। शरण गणेश शरण गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश। शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश। गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश। शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश। गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश।
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश।
शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश। शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश
शिवानंदन गणपति गणेश।
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश।
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश।
पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो 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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो
मानस भज रे गुरु चरणन दुस्तर भव सागर तरनन गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय 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 सत्य साई नाथ सतगुरु 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 जय जय मानस भज रे गुरु चरणन मानस भज रे गुरु चरणन दुस्तर भव सागर तरनन दुस्तर भव सागर तरनन गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय 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 सत्य साई नाथ सतगुरु जय जय सत्य साई नाथ सतगुरु जय जय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमो ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमो अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुण शिव ओंकारं बाबा ओंकारं बाबा ओंकारं बाबा ओम नमो बाबा ओंकारं बाबा ओंकारं बाबा ओंकारं बाबा ओम नमो बाबा मानस भज रे गुरु चरणन दुस्तर भव सागर तरनन मानस भज रे गुरु चरणन दुस्तर भव सागर तरनन गुरु महाराज गुरु जय जय 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 सत्य साई नाथ सतगुरु 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 जय जय
Very good. Siddhapati Ramachandra ki jai. Everything in this world, even a leaf, doesn't blow without the grace of Bhagwan. So Bhagwan decided that today all of us will sing. Yeah? Before beginning our katha, in this all blend of voices, by now all of us could sing Ramayana Smiran. So we join together and sing Ramayana Smiran, right? Varnana Marja Samhara Mangalanam Chakartaram Vande Maharam Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwas Parokam Yadvyam Vinana Pasyanti Siddhasvandas Saraswati Om Mahamaye Om Namah Shivaya Yosumirat Siddhi Gadanayaka Karivaram Yosumirat Siddhi Gadanayaka Karivaram Karahuvano Pravasoni Mundiraksha Sumadana Sadana Buddhi Ramchandra ki jai, Shankar Hari Om, Jai Jai Siya Ram. Every one of us, when we had the funeral, I had mentioned to you that the Yudhishthira chariot was 2 finger breadth above the ground. So every one of us have faltered in some way in this life. But Bhagwan sees it fit to let us know that no matter what we have done in our lives, there's always a chance for you to turn around and make a change. There's once this pious lady by the name of Malini, and she was married to sage Vidibhuta. She was a noble and pious wife, but her husband would go for long periods in meditation and so on. And on one occasion, a hunter by the name of Kamalasa came to that ashram, and unfortunately, emotions went, the wrong way, and she was like a para-amor. When Sage Vitibhutra returned by his yogic powers, he realized what had transpired. So he cursed her that since you wish to be with a hunter, you become a hunter. So he cursed her, and she was reborn in the Shabara tribe as Shabari. But remember, she had done pious deeds in her previous life, not only that one negative thing. So as a child, she was kind-hearted because of her previous life, right? Good things that she did. And as she grew up into a young lady, she came home one day and she saw around their house a host of animals tied right around. She comes and asks, Mommy, why all these animals here? She said, well, what? You get a good $1 per year, and all these animals here, we're going to sacrifice them for your wedding. So she's thinking that all these innocent animals are going to die because of me. So that compassion that she has, she did not want to be a part of that. So she left and she went deep into the forest. So far she went in that she came close to the ashram of Rishi Matanga. And being there, she saw that the young Shishyas, the chelas of the Guru, they used to come and they used to go on for like earning. The branches that dried and fell from the tree, they would go into the forest and forage for those sticks and bring it back. So she started to go and do that for them and come and collect them, put it there for them. So the sage noticed that these chelas are them coming back very quickly. Normally they take a long time to come back. So he asked them, how you want to come back with this huge bundle of sticks? And so quickly you are doing this. So they told the sage that they're seeing it heap up close by to the ashram. So finding out, they found out that Shabri used to go and collect that for them. So seeing her, that sage being wise to know that that is a pious and noble soul, he told her, Beti, come you be part of the ashram. So she is to clean the place and so on, and do all the household activities and so on. And because these sages is to pass to go to the river, she used to make sure, because they're walking barefoot, she would clear the roadway and to make sure that no one would get thorns on the feet. She used to roll to make sure there's no thorn to stick these things and sages and that. So pious and good she was. The sages, the other sages around in the other hermitage, they are saying now that, look, um, Gautam Rishi had brought a lady into his ashram. That's only wicked things, you know. The sage brought her and gave her a place to stay within the compounds of his ashram. And she would be there and she would listen to when the sage is teaching the boys and them, she would hear the kathas of Bhagwan. She would hear the boys chanting the mantras and she also would start repeating the mantras that these boys used to chant also. So she's listening to the glories of Bhagwan, she's chanting the mantras and then she is in the company of the saintly sage Gautam. On one occasion she goes to collect water and she used to go early because she didn't want to be in the pathway for when the other sages passing. When she went there and she took her bath and so on, she was coming back, the clothes she was wearing, her clothes, it just happened to touch one of the sages there, Pakanda. So that sage so Pakandi that, oh, you are a lowly woman and your clothes touch me. So that is the malice and negative things that he has in his mind. When that sage went to the river, as soon as he touched the water became red and filled with worms. Negative thoughts and emotions bring negative results. That Shabri stayed with sage Matang Rishi, and Matang Rishi it was time for him to leave this physical body. So he tells, after his Shishyas had gone, Shabri stayed on with him, and he tells Shabri that it is now time for him to leave his physical body, so he needs to meditate and leave his body. So she's asking her guru to take her with him. So he tells her that, oh Shabri, you have a greater reward than myself. You would have the opportunity to actually be in the presence of that Supreme Lord and Master when he comes as Bhagwan Sri Ram. So she had faith in the words of her Guru. Time passed and every day she would go out, she would clear the pathway, she would roll to make sure there's no thorns, and she would pack flowers in the pathway where Bhagwan Sri Ram would walk to her. She would go and pick berries and bring it and have it there for Bhagwan when he comes. And this happened over a long period of time till she got old. But she never stopped believing. She got old, and then on one occasion, Bhagwan, when he was going looking for Devi Sita, since Devi Sita was abducted, Vedvati Sita, the Pandam Sita, when Vedvati Sita was abducted by Ravan, since then Bhagwan wasn't eating because of his separation from Devi Sita. He did not want to eat anything. So he comes that way, and when Shabri sees Bhagwan coming, she recognizes what her Guru had told her. That one fair, one dark in complexion, with one mala and their hair tied up, and they're walking that way. She remembers the words of her Guru. That look, Bhagwan Sri Ram is coming. When Bhagwan Sri Ram comes, she welcomes Bhagwan and she gives him a beautiful seat to sit on. And she goes and she brings those berries to feed Bhagwan. Bhagwan is sitting there, Lakshman is standing, because you need to remember that Lakshman is on a vrat. For Lakshman to kill Indrajit, he has to maintain a vrat for 12 years. He cannot eat, he cannot sleep. So that's why Lakshman is not going to eat anything. So Lakshman is standing next to Bhagwan Sri Ram. Shabri comes and she wants to feed Bhagwan Sri Ram. And she's tasting the berries first to make sure they're sweet, the sweet ones. That is one she's feeding Bhagwan Sri Ram. And when she's feeding Bhagwan, Bhagwan relishes that. Lakshman is standing next to Bhagwan. He's crying. Why is he crying? He's crying because he's saying, when Bhagwan Sita had gone, all that he tried to give Bhagwan Shri Ram, he closed him and he wanted to give Bhagwan Shri Ram something to eat. Bhagwan Shri Ram not eating nothing because he missing Devi Sita so much. But this devotee with love in her heart, she's feeding Bhagwan. What Bhagwan tells us, Patram Pushpam Phalam Duyam, you may put what you give with love, I will accept. Whether it is water, a leaf, a flower, or a fruit. Lakshman is crying. But remember, Lakshman cannot eat anything. So when Devi gives him one, he cannot eat it because he is performing a vrat. So remember when he fell on the battlefield, they had to come and get that same fruit that grew, had to come and revive him. But what Bhagwan wants from you? Just love and devotion. Bhakti. How do we gain devotion to Bhagwan? Bhagwan Shri Ram himself tells us how we reach that highway of devotion. So let's hear what Bhagwan is telling Shabri. Before that, Shabri is saying, Bhagwan, I cannot extol your glories. Why am I foolish person? But Bhagwan says what? He tells her that, Devi, whether your lineage, the number of people in your family, your birth, none of these things matter to me. All that matters is the love and devotion that you have in your heart. He says that person who doesn't have love and devotion in their heart is like the cirrus clouds. They're high up in the sky and they don't even provide shade or water for you. Bhagwan Shri Ram is telling her, listen to the 9 steps to the highway of devotion. Let's see what Bhagwan says in the following shloka. Bhagwan is saying, listen to what the 9 steps that leads to that highway of bhakti. Prathama bhakti santana karasanga. The first step is to keep the company of the saintly people of this world. But this is Kali. How are you going to recognize these saintly people? If you put on a guard like this, they're saintly? No. You can't recognize the saintly people. Because crooks is dressed up like this too. Yeah? The saintly people should start from home. Your parents are the first teachers and first saints for you. Noble and pious people doesn't have negative thoughts. So anyone who has negative thoughts and who holding people in mind and always finding fault with others, you cannot be a saintly person. Your mind have to be amal achal. Yes, did we talk about that? Yes? A pure and steady mind is what a saint is all about. If you did not get to see that your parents' feet are the feet of Bhagwan, then we are totally lost. You know, there was this young sage by the name of Pipalad. And Pipalad had done penance, austerities, for 3,000 years. Having done that, the Devas blessed him with that he would have sarvasiddhi. He would be able to manifest many things. And added to that, he would be a very learned person. 3,000 years of penance. So what happens? When you accumulate things and you reach a certain level, what happens? Mud comes, right? What comes in. So, with this little haughtiness now, a crane came and sat on a tree right next to him, realizing what's going on in his mind. Because he thinks he's so great, he can manifest anything and so on. And he's a superior intelligence. So the crane is saying that, O Pipalad, you are not as great as Sukarma. Sukarma is much more greater than you and he is more intelligent than you. And he has not done any penance whatsoever. He has not done any yajnas. He has not done any pujas. But he is greater than you. All that tapas that you did for 3,000 years. So now he totally lost. He wants to know what's going on. So he got instruction as to where Sukarma lives. And he goes there. So when he comes that way, Sukarma welcomes him and says, O Pipalad, the crane has sent you. So now he totally shocked. How do you know that so many miles I took to reach here? How do you know that the crane spoke to me? So he smiled because he knows what's going on in the mind of Pipalad. Sukarma then called on all the devatas, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all the celestials, and all of them appeared in front of him. He wanted to show Pipalad how great he was. Because Pipalad can't believe that he had never done any penance, he didn't do no puja, he didn't do nothing. And he brought all the devas there. So then he tells him that the only thing that I have done is I have selflessly taken care of my old parents. That is all I have done. And this is all that I have been blessed with. 3,000 years of your penance, and all I did was take care of my care. Shabri becomes so great because of what? Taking care of the Guru and the children in the ashram. When we care for others without any selfish gain, definitely we'll go to the Supreme Abode. So who these saintly people are? We start with parents. Pratama Bhakti Santana Karasanga, Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. The second step is that you need to listen to the glories of Bhagwan. Raja Parikshit, given 7 days to live, and he cursed by Shringri Rishi after Raja Parikshit, because of Kali in his crown, had put that dead snake over his father. And he cursed him to die in 7 days. All the saints and sages came together and they told him that the best thing for him to do for 7 days, in 7 days you're going to die, is to listen to Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana. Not so? Binduga and Kankula got saved because of listening to Shiv Mahapurana. Binduga and Kankula were a couple, and he decided to go the wrong way, go and visit the wrong places and so on, although he's married. And she, when he's gone, she picks up a paramo. When he finds out what's going on, he mercilessly beats her. Then eventually he tells her that if she has to do this, she has to collect money from the man and give it to him. So she took up that job. So eventually one day she came on by the banks of the river and she heard someone reading Shiv Mahapurana. And she heard the kind of hell she would have to endure when she dies. Someone who performed those actions. When she heard that, she couldn't sleep because it stayed in her mind that is where she's going to go, that hell, to suffer. So she goes back to that Brahmin and asks him if there's anything she can do. He tells her that if she organized to have Shiv Mahapurana read, she would be, and listens to that Shiv Mahapurana, she would be redeemed from that. So she did that, and eventually she went to Shivlok, and she was one of the companions of Devi Parvati. Devi Parvati was there with her, and on one occasion, a long time had passed, and she wanted to find out, Devi, what happened to Binduga, my former husband? So Devi Parvati told her that eventually the people who he was living with, they killed him, and his body was dragged all over by wild dogs and so on, and he became a prey. So he is roaming the Vindhya mountains for over hundreds of years, and a crate doesn't have, that crate has a small mouth. So he's forever thirsty and hungry, and he finds no peace. So she said, Ma, is there anything we can do for him? So she tells her that she will organize with Tamburu, who is a Gandharva, and they would capture that spirit and place him in a bamboo. And they would chant the Shiv Mahapuran. Everyone was invited, all different creatures of all different Gandharvas, Kinaras, Celestials and so on. When everybody heard that Shiv Puran is going to be recited, everybody came. So they recited the Shiv Mahapuran, and each day that went by, a knot was burst. And eventually, at the end of it, he got salvation. So great is listening to the Katha of Bhagavan. Even if you had passed on and you're suffering, when nobody could help you, scriptures can help you then. the glories of Bhagavan. Let us hear what. Let me just read and tell you what the other step is. Guru Parapangaja Seva Tisari Bhakti Aman Choti Bhakti Mama Gunagana Karayi Kapata Tajigan. The third step is to believe and do seva for the Guru. Remember what we said yesterday? In the Katha, what is the Kavach? Kavach Aveda Vipra Guru Puja Ihisama Vijaya Upaya Naduja. That the greatest armor you have is service to the Guru and the Vipras. That is the next step. That is what is going to give you that devotion to Bhagavan. Choti Bhakti Mama Guna. And the fourth step is to sing the praises of Bhagavan with a guileless heart. You know, you're not singing to, here I could sing real good, Yamedi. Oh, what's all the way? That is not how we are singing to Bhagavan. You see how we were singing just now? All of us just singing the praises of Bhagavan. That is how we need to sing the praises of Bhagavan. Not no papi show. You sing for Bhagavan with all your heart. And I want to remind Didi, when you see that time comes, you call out to Bhagavan. Trust me, the time would come. And it does not have to be when people are not around. Sometimes people are right next to you, Didi. And that sadness just take you over. And they don't know what's going on. But you know what's going on. But you know who's going to help pull you out of that? You chant the name of Bhagavan. You sing praise of Bhagavan. You pull that out from your heart. Again, let us say what the fifth tells us. Jaya Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Mantra Japa Mama Dira Visvasa Pancham Bhajan Saveda Prakasha Chatagam Sena Virati Bahukarma Nirat Nirantara Sajam Dharma Jaya Ram Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama Bolo Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Bolo Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Chandra Ki Jai Pancham Bhajana Suveda Prakasha Mantra Japa Mamadra Visvasa Panchama Veda. So what is the fifth that Bhagavan is telling us? Is the Vedas, the mantras that are given by the Vedas, you need to chant it with utmost faith. When you chant the mantras with faith, you will develop that devotion to Bhagavan. There was this girl by the name of Shanti, a young child, 8 years old, and she used to put, when Baba used to have satsang and so on. So this child used to live on one side of the river, and her dad used to have plenty cows and so on. So they used to take the boat and come across and sell the milk on the next side. And when to have satsang and so on, they would come across and listen to satsang. So on one occasion, she heard Baba saying on this accent that, you know, when you have love, devotion and faith in your heart, and you chant the name of Bhagwan, Jai Ram, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. You could even cross water. So that 8-year-old child remembered that. So as time went on, her father got sick. So she started to milk the cows and so on. But remember, her father would row the boat to come across the river. But then she remembered, but Baba had said, you know, if I chant the mantra Bhagwan with faith, I'll be able to walk across the water. So she took up the big jar of milk and she started, Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. And she's walking across the water. She goes, she sells the milk and so on, same thing. She mantra and she crosses the water. So the next day she comes again. The Baba sees her and said, Betty, how are you going? How's your daddy? She said, well, Babs, you know, daddy's sick and so on, so he home resting up. He said, but what, how you come across the river? He said, well, and I remember where it said, young Babs, so I walk across the water. You walk across the water, Baba don't believe she walked across the water. She said, yeah, come with me, Babs, come. So she started. Same thing, she walking across the water. Jai Ram Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. So she walking and she holding Baba hand and they walking. So Baba walking together with she and she saying the mantra to she. But then Baba watched them and see he dirty. He said, thinking that he dirty before, go get wet. From the time he thought that, went straight down into the water. But you understand is, you have to have the faith. Baba might not have the faith, but that young child has that faith in the mantra of Bhagwan. So she's able to walk across the water. Have faith in the mantras that people give. And you see what happened in my lifetime, I've seen mantras. I've seen it. My brother had told me about his experience, and eventually I myself used the same mantra and the same result happened. What happened, my brother had gone to the hospital and there was this old lady. The doctors had said she wouldn't make it and so on. And his godchildren came and said, Baba, where do you come and say prayers for Mama? We don't think she will make it again. And you know, the daughter was going to get married in a couple of months and so on. So my brother said, don't worry, there we go, come. Only listen to what I tell and okay. So my brother went, and he said some mantras and so on. And then he told them that, here what, this is what I want you all to do. I want all of you to take a Rudraksh mala, and every one of you chant this mantra. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarakamev Vandanam Mrityor Mukshiyamam. They did what my brother said. The wedding passed. Nani lived for a couple more years. So you understand what I'm trying to tell you? This is the things that happen in our life. My wife's cousin, mother-in-law, same thing. And we gave her, but we asked her to do Hawan with the mantra. They did Hawan with the mantra, same thing. You understand? Have a little faith in the mantras of Bhagwan. They will trust you. I have seen many, many miracles. Not only people not dying and so on, but people who have problems to walk and all these things. Many, many things have passed through my life. I have seen the mantras done. Chatadamasila Vidati Bahukarma, Nidantara Sajana Dharma. One needs to perform your dharma in a selfless manner. You see how Bhaji Krishna used to do his duty? I mentioned it yesterday. He wanted anything in return, Sana? Do your duty selflessly. You don't want nothing, just perform your duty. Satavama Sama Mohi Jagadika Vote Santa Adika Karilika. You need to see Bhagwan in everyone and everything. Siyarama me sab jagajani karu pranam jori jugapani. With clasped hands I bow to you, Bhagwan. I see you here, there, and everywhere. So you need to know that Bhagwan exists in the neighbor who you have a problem with. He exists in the dog. He exists in everything. See Bhagwan in everything. When you see Bhagwan in everything, it will sort of cleanse your heart. You won't have them this malice and hatred. It's when you forgive them. And forgive and forget. Remember I mentioned this to you earlier. This nonsense people are saying, I will forgive you, but I will forget. The idea of forgiving is to forget. Right? Remember I mentioned to you, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam Tyajatyante kalevaram Tam tam evaiti kaunteya Sadatat bhava bhavitaha. When it is time for you to leave this world, where your mind is, surely that is the place you're going to go. So if you don't fix your mind in time, where are you going to go? It is of utmost importance. You know Kalbasulji, when he acts in Uttarkandi, end of Ramayana, Kalbasulji is being asked by Garud Maharaj, the king of words, 7 questions. One of the questions that he asks is, O Guruji, what is the greatest sin? You know what his reply was? The greatest sin is finding faults with others. You understand? Because when you find faults with others, those faults don't stay with the people, it stays in your mind. You understand? So you're killing yourself, you're putting yourself in a bad place. Finding faults with others. That is the greatest sin. Because you're killing yourself. You understand? Stop finding fault with others. Think about it that Bhagwan has put everyone in the place that they are in for your upliftment. This entire Leela, your life is your Leela. And Bhagwan brings and carries people in your life to improve you. Everything that happens in your life. It is there to just make you a better person. You're given an opportunity to forgive. You're given an opportunity to share. You're given an opportunity to help someone. And over and over he does it in. Bhagwan will carry you in this lifetime, and if you didn't learn, he will carry you back in the next time for you to learn. That is what the cycles are about. He's bringing you to enlightenment. Enlightenment can only come when you come out of this Sada Sansara. What is the Sada Sansara? We have made this Sada Sansara. Because remember, your mind is brought you here. But if your mind was in a different place, where would it be? You have to be with Bhagwan, where you originally came from. Only you can uplift yourself. Uddharet atmana na atmana avasadhayet. Bhagwan Shri Krishna, uplift yourself by yourself. Nobody could do that for you. Baba could preach from now to never vary. That's not going to help you unless you make efforts to uplift yourself. And like I said earlier, how the clock going? Not going tick, 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 it's going quick, quick, quick. We need to make up our minds. We want to come back in this again, or we want to have devotion like Shabri. With all that devotion that Shabri had, when Bhagwan tells her that, you know, you have crossed all these 9 steps, and now you have on the highway of devotion, you have bhakti. He gives her what? Salvation. Even someone who is considered a sinner, Bhagwan blesses her with salvation. Sita Parinama Chandra Ki Jai. Pyare, I tried yesterday, I know how tired everyone is. And my daughter told me, Daddy, you know, Uncle and them have been having satsang since he 12. So try and condense it and don't give out too much. The daughters told my daddy, cut it down, please. When you're doing satsang home for me, you could do a long pants. I want you to do a short pants. So, with my daughter's guidance, I do a short pants today, right? Sita Padidam Chandri. Let us clasp our hands and bow our heads. In humble supplication as we seek guidance, blessing and protection to this noble soul who has brought us here. You know, I wanted to mention to you that one doesn't have satsang like this unless sufficient punyam has been accrued. For someone to have satsang from the 12th to now, you would have to have immense punyam. You understand? So that person had to be a noble, pious soul from deep within to bring people to have satsang for so many nights. Only a pious and good person who has sufficient punyam could be in satsang. And you notice this satsang today? It have one satsang. Normally when you come in satsang and you go, it have 10 satsang going on. Because Baba talking here, have a satsang by the road, have a satsang in the kitchen. You understand? Today we have one satsang. And that is to the grace of Krishna ji. Right? Let us clasp our hands and bow our heads and sit down. Hari Om Anadi Nidhno Deva Shankha Chakra Gadadhan Akshay Pundarikaksha Preta Muksha Prilokava Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Om Namastu Anandaya Sahasramurti Sahasraparakshi Sharurpudbhave Sahasraname Purushaya Sahasraputi Udhari Namah Om Avahanam Najanami Najanami Visarajanam Pujam Jaiva Najanami Asamyatam Purusho Mantrahinam Priyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardhanam Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadasami Kayena Vacha Manasendriyava उद्यत आत्मा नव प्रकृति स्वभाव करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणीति समर्पयामि नारायणीति समर्पयामि। हे प्रभु सर्वशक्तिमान सच्चिदानंद निराकार निर्विकार सर्वाधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक अंतर्यामी अजर अमर नित्य प्रवित्य सृष्टिकर्ता को बारंबार नमस्कार। हे परमात्मा भविष्य वर्तमान और शुकार कष्टम करते हैं शुभ दी प्रकाश प्रति जिसके सबका मंगल हो। ओम यौ शांति अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांति औषधे शांति वनस्पति शांति विषुदे विवाय शांति ब्रह्मा शांति सर्वं शांति शांतिरेव शांति समा शांति देवी। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Together. त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। उमापति महादेव की जय। पवन पुत्र हनुमान स्वामी की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। सीतापति रामचंद्र की जय। बोलिए सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। सकल पंच जय जय।